Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Bree. We're in a little bit of a different position than I usually am. I've got you behind my desk and we're here because we're going to be doing a 5-star audit. If you don't know, Kayla from Books and Lala, she is one of my favorite YouTubers on here and I am a channel member for her, and she is running a readathon called Lalathon, which is reading all her favorite books, but she also lets you read your favorite books if her favorite books aren't for you. But she has a whole bingo card where she's put her favorite books into a bingo, and you can try to get a bingo for this week-long readathon. But she also has done a 5-star audit. Sorry, my computer just turned on, so it made me orange. So in the past, she did a video where she did a 5-star audit, and she went through all her favorite books, and she picked out what her favorite books are and what they have in common. And I wanted to do this for myself because I wanted to know what I like in books. I had kind of done a things I like in books video a long time ago, but this I want to be more in depth with. And then I want to also do in the readathon mixing in books that I think I'm really going to like with her bingo card. And so I thought this would be a fun little video to do. I will share my screen with you and we'll plug everything in and figure out what I like in books. Very similar to what Kayla did. I really liked her format and I feel like it works well. So thank you, Kayla, for creating this video, and I'm excited to jump into it. I did get carried away with creating this. I was going to do a very simple graphic, and then I just was like having fun, and I spent a couple hours on it. So I have really set it up, so hopefully we can go through it. Oh, and before we get started, I wanted to say that I didn't include any 5 stars from a while ago if I feel like I don't know if I necessarily stand with that 5 stars still. And then I also, if anything that I felt like maybe it was a 5-star in the moment, or I don't agree with my 5-star rating anymore, I didn't include those. And I also just included, if it was a series, the first one in the series, except for one series, which you'll see why, because I liked them for 2 different reasons, the first and second books. But I think that overall, I just included one in a series because I feel like it can encapsulate all that I like in that series. So I have got here on the left is all of my 5-star books, and then I created these little text box. You can see what I mean by I got carried away. So I created these so that we can group things together. I think I like obsession stories. That was one of Kayla's books with obsession, and when she was doing that, I thought that I agreed with that for myself. So I'm going to put that here. And I feel like what falls into that is House of Hunger, and then Bloom also falls into that a bit. And then, let's see. I kind of feel like In My Dreams I Hold a Knife kind of falls into that because I do feel like they have like a bit of an obsession with each other in their friend group. I also think like The Counting Monte Cristo, it's a revenge story, but I will say like I do feel like there's an obsession with the revenge. And like it's not just limited to like obsessed with another person, but I feel like just where people get very obsessed about like one thing and like their goal and they have to accomplish that. I think that also falls into it for me. That's all I can think of for now, but I'll come back if I figure out more. I also think I really like funny romance or like witty banter in romance. Also, I think just in general, like not just with romance, but any kind of witty banter. I get that, and Gideon had that. And then I know Lies of Locke Lamora had it. And then also, where is it? I probably should have put these in some kind of order. I feel like the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, they kind of have like a back and forth banter that I really like. And I also felt it in the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. There was this witty banter. And let's see, I know there's more that fall into this. I found that in Small Miracles as well. I liked their back and forth and their little banter. And I like it when just a character like has that back and forth as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be with someone else. And I feel like you could argue that you get that in The Ventures of Mina Asarafi. And I do feel like The Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking and Sword Heart also have this banter that I really enjoy. I feel like there might be more in here, but we'll leave it for now. And then I think Found Family for sure is one. Oh. Found Family for sure. I can already tell you that many of the books I've read have a found family element. This has a found family. That's Adventures of Minos Rafi. House in the Cerulean Sea has a found family. Vera Wong, Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, has a found family. A Psalm for the Wild Belt, I feel like, does as well. Tea Dragon Society for sure. Howl's Moving Castle. Legends and Lattes. I feel like a lot of the cozy stuff has found family. I also feel like Half a Soul, even though it's just really her and her partner, I do feel like it falls into that, like found family, accepting people, accepting you for who you are. The Man Who Died Twice, I think you could count that as well. Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter for sure has that. The Diviners has it. Guernsey and Literary Potato Peel Pie Society did too. So I feel like found family is definitely a big one for me. What else? I'm trying to think of what these. Oh, I was thinking, and I don't know if I have a lot in 5 stars because I didn't go and get any of my 4 stars, but I do feel like I like a good speculative thriller. Or not even speculative thriller, but like we'll say speculative mystery. I think Gideon falls into this. Where else? I would say Simone St. James falls into these for me. The Pendergast series also falls into that. Okay, I moved them to the other side so it would be easier. Oh, I also really like, in nonfictions, I think I like I don't know how you, it's not necessarily nature, but I mostly read like nature or food, but like memoir and commentary. I don't know how you would classify this, but I like when people take real world things like Braiding Sweetgrass, for example, talks a lot about like indigenous wisdom and science, but she also weaves in a lot of stories of her life and talks almost in a memoir sense. And sorry if you can hear that, Pippi's been sneezy lately. And so I really enjoyed that. So Braiding Sweetgrass is an example of that. Where is it? The Third Plate, he talks about food and his experience as a cook. And then Omnivore's Dilemma talks about like food and also like makes a comment on society while also talking about himself. I haven't read some of these in a little while. Four Fish is about fishing, the fishing industry and stuff. And all those have like an element of memoir to them, to their nonfiction, and I really enjoy that in there. Oh, this is one I have been thinking about. I think I also really enjoy, I don't know how to say this. I like a character that has trials, kind of. So like I really like seeing a character's full progression from like a naive kind of person into like seeing everything they've seen and making hard choices and like who they come out at the end. So for example, like Kayla, you get her entire life story kind of from start to finish, and you really see why she has to make the decisions she does, and like you can understand them because you see her along every step of the way. Against the Loveless World by Susan Abahawa was also that. And then like Slewfoot in a lot of ways is that you see Abatha, not necessarily her whole life, but you see like her from one point and how she gets to her end point, and you see the progression like fully. The Magician's Daughter also has this element of like growing up. She really starts younger and then you see her grow up, but not all of them necessarily have that. So I don't really know how you would frame that, except for they have trials. Binti is that way. You see her like have to grow up in a short amount of time. That one's a novella, but from start to finish, you kind of have to see her grow up really quickly. And I had another one on here that it was making me think of. Black Cake, I feel like it's not the main characters, but the mother. You get to see like her life story, and that's something that really intrigued me about it. Also probably Bandit Queens, because you see like how Gita became the way she is and like why she's kind of an outcast and like why she's okay with it. So I hope that makes sense. If there's a better way of phrasing things, please let me know down in the comments. Like if you think that I'm phrasing a better way to phrase things, like please let me know. But also if you just think that you see books that you think have similar things in common, point them out to me, because I'm not always the greatest at this. Oh, I think I like books that play with time. And Harrow the Ninth is an example of that. It's playing with the structure of the story and how it relays the time elements to you. But I also just like books that actually play with time. So like Una Out of Order does that. And then we have This Is How You Lose a Time War, which has a lot of different time elements worn into it. That's not the right word. Woven into it. I have another... I keep forgetting about the ones on the other page, so we will go back to those at some point. 7.5 Deaths played with time as well, like you were getting different narrative perspectives, and that's what I really liked about it. I guess you could say the Shauna Maguire series plays with time a little bit because they're portals, and then when they come back, like time has passed, but it's not the same as the real world, and I do enjoy that about it. Let's see, can I add anything to the other ones? I think that I can... Okay, speculative mystery. I know I can add the diviners to that. Didn't realize that was there. Obsession. I feel like I had another one with obsession. Oh, Wuthering Heights can go into the obsession category for sure. So I also feel like maybe like it could go with witty banter, but like fun mysteries, or not fun, but like ridiculous. That's not how you spell ridiculous. Okay, I guess it is. Because I feel like everyone in my family has killed someone. Is that same with Finley Donovan? Same with the Richard Osmonds. I feel like I had another one. Vera Wong can be a bit ridiculous as well. It's cozy, but it also has that like fun element to it. I would say Gideon is also that way. Like, it has a bit of like the fun thing going on with it. What? Oh, I knew that was coming at some point. We've got a Pippi. Let's see. What else? I feel like I haven't touched really a lot of the horror that I like. I feel like I like gothic horror a lot. Okay, so I think gothic horror is something I really like. I think that the Hacienda does this really well. Same with Vampires of El Norte. Same with Mexican Gothic. What else? Oh, House of Hunger would fall into the gothic horror category. And then, do we have one more? I feel like I don't have a way to categorize a lot of these. I would say like commentary, like fantasy with commentary, because I'm thinking of like Dread Nation is like a alternative historical fantasy that talks a lot about like the injustices of the time, and Babel does that too. We also talk about it in the Ballad of Black Tom a bit, because it's like a retelling of that classic horror story. So I guess I would say not necessarily fantasy, but speculative. And then, like, this horror is a grief horror, so it's got commentary on grief. We got Razorblade Tears. That's not really speculative. But it also falls into this, like, commentary, where the reason I like it is the conversations it's having a lot. The Allies of the Ajungo, I do feel like talks about like power a lot and power dynamics. And then Chinging All-Stars also talks about the prison system in the US. And okay, I'm just going to go through and see if I can add anything to some of these. I think for characters have trials, I would also argue the Brandon Sanderson Way of Kings, which is very out of my element, but I do really like it for his character work. So I would say character has trials, but also maybe like it could probably file into the found family. And then I would say Firekeeper's Daughter has also real world. It's speculative. It's a little speculative. Maybe we'll change this to say with commentary, because I do feel like that has it. Alatsue, I would argue, has trials as well. She has to like figure out who she is along the way. Oh, I was gonna say the Murder, the Rexford and Sloan series is found family for sure. I feel like Lightfall, I like it because it's cozy, but also I really like the witty banter in it. Well, I guess also the David trilogy, I feel like the character has trials for sure. I guess God of Black Drums would fall into that too, because you're trying to figure out like what's going on and who is there. This also falls into speculative mystery. This is a alternate history steampunk mystery. I would say, and then There Were None also kind of plays with time because you are like having a countdown in a way. Somewhat I'm trying to fit these in here. So, oh, the Murderbot series definitely goes under witty banter and a bit of speculative mystery because you're trying to figure out what's happening on this planet. It's not gothic horror, but it gives me that same uncanny feeling that gothic horror does, which is Moon of the Crusted Snow and Comfort Me with Apples. They, maybe instead of gothic, I'll just say like uncanny, where something is wrong and it's like slowly unsettling. Uncanny slash slowly unsettling, because these have like this just overwhelming sense of like dread throughout them, and like with Comfort Me with Apples, like you know something's wrong but the character doesn't, and so that leads you to feel like unsettled, and I really enjoy that about those. Do anything else have that? I'd also say Bloom has that like uncanny, slowly unsettling feeling to it. Garlic and the Vampire. I feel like there should just be a category for found family and like slash cute. You know, like they're just cute. I guess you could put Garlic and the Vampire as she has trials because she has to like overcome her anxiety in a way, like she has to face her anxiety. This one also, The Beautiful Ones, you see why every character makes a decision they do because you really have to get in their head. I could see Nettle and Bone going in witty banter as well because I do feel like there's some of that, but I also feel like it could go into, oh, well, Nettle and Bone could really go into found family because she does get a found family along the way. Lonely Castle in the Mirror, I would say the characters have trials too. You get to see why everyone is at the castle. And then, let's see, what about these? This one plays with time. I can't believe I didn't even think about that before. The Coffee Gets Cold definitely plays with time. They time travel back in time. And then Thornhenge. You know, I don't even know if I really actually gave this one 5 stars or if I rounded up, but I don't know. We're just gonna leave this one. I can't handle it. So there you go. There are things that I like in my books. I feel like there's probably better ways to categorize this. So if you have any ideas of like things that books have in common that you're seeing here, please leave them down below. I would really appreciate it. And I feel like I have some overlap, like ridiculous mysteries and speculative, and like, I don't know, some of it feels like it could overlap. So anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch my videos, and I hope that you've enjoyed, and I hope that you can kind of see what you like in books from this. And thank you again to Kayla for making the original 5-star audit video that I saw, and for hosting the readathon. I'm very excited to participate. Soon after this, you will see a vlog where I'm going to try to read Kayla's favorite books that I have on my TBR so that I can kind of mix in what I like with also books that she likes and hopefully get a bingo. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.